Well, guys, the topic of conversation on the internet is Chrisean Rock Jr. inguinal hernia. He's got a hernia at the groin area. And if you have a hernia at the groin area, it's called an inguinal hernia. Inguinal means groin. And so that's what he have. Let's talk about it. But before we do, what? Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed as yet. Now let's get back to the video. This picture of this child is not Chrisean's baby. This is a baby from WebMD. And because I have not seen the hernia that this child have, Chrisean Rock Jr. have, I pulled up a picture on WebMD just to show what a hernia would look like. Chrisean was crying her eyes out a couple of days ago, saying that Blueface posted up the baby's penis on the internet. And so she was so besides herself, she said she was going to press charges against him for child pornography. I don't know if she has filed charges, but yesterday she said she was going to file charges. A lot of people were saying, oh, the baby does not cry a natural cry, a normal cry. The baby kind of screams. Well, you would too if you have an inguinal hernia. Remember, this is a baby with a very painful condition. And this is why I could not understand when Chrisean was at, I believe it was Walmart a couple of days ago, and she said she was shopping and she had a dog, she had to push a cart, she had the baby, and so the baby was all the way reclined backward, sleeping, and she was not holding the baby's head up, and people were really coming hard at her for not properly supporting the baby's head, which they should have, because guess what, folks? By not properly supporting an infant's head, you can actually break the neck of that infant. If it's flip-flopping and you're not controlling that head and supporting that head by holding the head properly, stopping it from flip-flopping, you can break the neck. And so people had all rights to come after her. After all, she wanted this baby. The baby was not asked to be brought into the world. She took care in holding the dog, from keeping the dog from running away. She took care in pushing the shopping cart, from keeping that from going to, just running down the aisle. Why could she not hold the baby head up? It looked in the picture like if she was just, or had given up. She was tired being a mother, and she is a new mother. What I say, Chrisean, is that you hire a nanny. If it becomes too overwhelming and you find that you cannot give the baby the proper care, don't try to prove a point to Blueface that you're such a good mother. Get you a nanny, because you are an artist. You can afford it. Get a nanny. Now, this is the picture that is floating around the internet with Chrisean holding the baby. The baby is in one of those little baby snuggle things, and the baby's head is reclined all the way back. She's pushing the cart and she's holding the leash, I believe, to the dog. And for the life of me, common sense would tell you to hold the baby head up. The baby have a hernia, first of all. With the baby's head reclining all the way back like that, it's putting a strain in the abdominal area. It's pulling on that abdomen area, and it's going to affect that hernia. It's going to cause a lot of pain in that area. The baby's asleep, but when the baby wakes up, I'm sure that baby was hollowing from the pain. I know Chrisean is trying to prove a point to Blueface because he said she wasn't going to be a good mother, and he wants the baby. He still wants to take guardianship of that child because he said she's not going to be a good mother. Now, she's a first-time mother. So certain things for most mothers comes natural. It's nature's way that women are just programmed and know what to do. But not everybody's like that. Some women really don't know what to do. If you got the money, you hire a nanny. If you don't have the money to hire a nanny, then you get people in your circle, that like your family members, to show you the way of how to be a good mother, how to take care of that child properly. Chrisean have the money. There's no way she should have been holding a dog on a leash, pushing a shopping cart, and trying to finagle handling that baby. She is fortunate. It looks like if the baby was sleeping, but if that baby was alert, that baby would have been bawling, because that pulling on that groin with the head all the way back like that is causing a lot of pain. So Chrisean in the caption says, I'm a good mom. It's not a matter of being a good mom. It's a matter of common sense. Some people just don't have common sense when it has to do with the simplest things. And this is one of those instances. If the baby's head is all the way back, there's a reason why people hold babies' heads. There's a reason why the doctor will tell the new parent, make sure you hold the baby's head steady and up, okay? You don't have it flapping. You don't have the head all the way back, because you try putting your head all the way back like that and see what happens. You're going to have neck strain. And for an infant who don't have control of the neck as yet, those muscles, if the head is wobbling enough, actually, the baby's neck can be broken that way. So this is not a good situation. It's a very dangerous situation. Chrisean says, I'm a good mom. No doubt she's good at attending to the baby and all of that. She's putting on this persona as if she is such a good mother. But Chrisean got to remember, she's a new mother. She doesn't know everything. Her mother had a lot of children, but that does not mean that she learned enough skills to take care of a child. Get a nanny, my dear, because Blueface and his mama is after that child. I think because Blueface does not have control of Chrisean Rock anymore, he wants to cut her out of his life by taking control of the child, even if he have to give the child to the baby mama, the other baby mama, to raise, because he did ask Jalen if she would raise the child for him. And push come to shove, his mother is ready to take care of that child. That's how much they want Chrisean out of this child's life. And so now we see that Blueface is denying once again being the child's father, because this child have a hernia, and I guess he don't want to associate himself with a child with a disability. But guess what? Has nothing to do. This hernia doesn't have anything to do with this child having a disability. It have to do with Chrisean Rock smoking when she was pregnant, because it all have to do with blood supply when the child is being developed. And we all know the danger of cigarette smoking or any type of smoking that will limit blood supply to the infant. Now, we all know that Chrisean Rock smoked through her pregnancy. I don't know if when she stopped smoking, but I do know she did smoke while she was pregnant. And there's a reason why doctors say do not smoke while you're pregnant. For these type of reasons, it can cause serious damage to the child. So in this picture, we see the bowels, and we see part of the bowels protruding out in that opening below. That is known as an inguinal hernia. Now, in this picture, we see the protrusion, the bulging. That is an inguinal hernia. Inside of the bulge is where the bowels would be, part of the bowels. Now, what is an inguinal hernia? According to Google, an inguinal hernia in an infant is a hernia that occurs in the groin. Inguinal means groin. Now, how come these hernias develop? Well, an inguinal hernia occurs when part of the child's intestine pushes through an opening in the abdominal wall through the inguinal canal. Now, I don't want to get too technical, but the inguinal canal is a passage in the lower abdominal area, the abdominal wall area that's located just above the inguinal ligament. Like I said, I don't want to get too technical, but basically, what is going on? The abdominal wall is weakened, causing a pocket of the intestine to go into that bulging area in the groin. But Chrisean does not have to worry about this having a low sperm count because an inguinal hernia is not associated with male infertility. I don't want Chrisean to feel any worse than she's already feeling. However, Google search does say smoking is a known risk factor for development of a hernia and increases the risk of a hernia reoccurrence. This is just a little bit of information concerning the abdominal wall. What happens if you smoke while you're pregnant? Since your abdominal wall holds vital organs in place, your muscles need to be as strong as possible. If your body does not produce enough collagen, then it's easy for the organs to break through your abdominal wall and to cause a hernia. So guys, drop it in the comment section. Now that you know what happens if a person smokes while they're pregnant, do you all think Chrisean is at fault for her baby having a hernia? Because we already hear what happens. If you smoke, enough collagen is not being produced in that abdominal area to hold it very strong and firm, to hold the bowels and all those organs in that area in place. If the abdominal wall is weakened, then you have an outpouching, a little pouch, and they call that a hernia. And in that little pouch, you have part of the bowels sitting in there. So the child would need surgery to put the bowels back in place and to close up that hernia. I didn't see this child's hernia. However, a hernia is a hernia. It's an outpouching of contents from the bowel area that shouldn't be in the pouch. But surgery is going to fix all of that. But I hate to harp on this subject. Chrisean is now crying her eyes out. I'm a good mother. Oh, Blueface does not help. Oh, guess what? The man said he wasn't going to help you. From the get-go, when you got pregnant, he said he was not going to help. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even want you to have the child because he don't think you're going to be a good mother. And you're proving him right so far. And if you were so concerned, Miss Chrisean Rock, why were you smoking? You know the pitfalls of smoking when a child is developing. When you smoke, you are robbing that child of vital oxygen that they need to develop. And they may be missing a toe, an arm, an eye, fingers, you name it. So when Chrisean starts crying, those crocodile tears, think about what you did to that baby when that baby was developing. And when you start complaining about Blueface not helping, the man told you from the get-go he wasn't going to help. So stop it. Go get a nanny and get on with your career. You know, oftentimes, mothers do not adhere to what the doctors tell them until it's too late. But when they don't listen, they're not only harming themselves, but they're harming that baby. And now we see where this inguinal hernia is a direct consequence of Chrisean Rock smoking. So we don't want to see any more tears coming from Chrisean Rock. We don't want any more excuses that Blue is not helping. I had to do it all by myself. I came down there to wherever it is she's living, and I flew out to California, and I flew here and there and everywhere, and oh my goodness, Blue did not help me at all. We don't want to hear it because the man already said he wasn't going to help. Get you, just like how you got a housekeeper to keep your house clean, you should have a nanny in place to take care of that baby. You just bought a house for $3 million. That's what you said. I'm sure you got the coins for a nanny, a full-time nanny. In other words, what I'm trying to say, Miss Chrisean Rock, get your priorities in order. A house is just a thing, but that baby is a person. Put that child first. Now that the child is going to get an operation, that's great. That should have been on the agenda day one, all the appointments. Now you're looking to make appointments when that should have been done. As soon as that child came out and you saw that child had an inguinal hernia and the doctors wanted you to make the appointments, that should have been done. You shouldn't have been getting on no plane, doing no gigs, no baddies east and baddies west, north and south. None of that crap. That child should have came first. And I don't know what you were thinking of, pushing a shopping cart, carrying a dog, and can't take care of the baby. The dog is not more important than the baby. You should have let that dog go, run wild, and grab that child's head. Now, the person who took the picture, you said the person should have helped you. True, the person should have helped you, but you should have done your due diligence to know that that's too much for you. If you got a dog, a baby, pushing shopping cart, carrying groceries, that's too much. You should have walked with someone. What are you thinking? You got to have common sense when you have children. A lot of people don't have common sense. That's why they need nannies and babysitters, because they don't have the good common sense to take care of children. Anyway, guys, I'm over and now. Drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the like bell and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.